In today's video, I'm going to show how to replace and even upgrade the horn in a 2019 to 2022 Hyundai Veloster. The particular model that I'm performing this install on is my wife's 2022 Veloster N. Her horn recently stopped working, so in my previous video, I went over how to replace the vehicle's clock spring, which can be the cause of a horn malfunction. After performing that install and checking the horn fuse and relay, her horn still didn't work. So the next item to check was the horn itself. Since we needed to replace the horn, my wife wanted to go ahead and upgrade to a louder horn to make sure that people heard her when she was letting them know that they were doing something dumb. Which, with the way that people drive nowadays, that happens quite often. After doing some research for the best type of horn to upgrade to, I chose to go with the same snail design as the factory unit, but instead of one horn, I chose to go with a dual tone setup. I will have a link to the horns along with the other items used in this video down in the video description. The horns I purchased were from Farbin and come with 2 snail horns, 4 brackets, 2 nuts, 4 wires, a manual, and a wire harness with a pre-wired relay, which is recommended for a 2-horn setup. The horns have a frequency of 410 Hz and 510 Hz. Combined, they can reach around 130 decibels. I will have sound clips of the horns later in the video. I performed this install on the 4th of July, which felt like the hottest day of the year. Even with the heat, our puppies wanted to be outside with us while we worked, so we set up a tent, gate, and baby pool with toys and lots of balls for them to play in. They had a blast while we sweated to death. To begin the install, we need to remove the vehicle's splash shield. The easiest way I found to do this is by using ramps. I purchased the ramps from Amazon, and they have been worth every penny that I spent on them. They make working under the car much easier. I do have to remove the front splitter before taking the car up the ramps to avoid damaging it. With the car up in the air, you'll need to remove 6 bolts and 11 plastic clips holding the splash guard in place. You'll need a 10mm socket to remove the bolts and plastic trim tool or flathead screwdriver to remove the plastic clips. Once all the bolts and clips have been removed, you can simply leave the splash guard under the car. To disconnect the bumper from each side of the car, move to one of the front wheel wells and remove one 10mm screw and 3 plastic clips. You'll repeat this step on the opposite wheel well. Now open the hood and remove 4 10mm bolts holding the top of the bumper to the car. Once these 4 bolts have been removed, you can take the bumper off the car. I would suggest setting the bumper on a blanket to reduce the risk of damage. The horn is located on the driver's side under the headlight next to the crash bar. To remove the horn, unplug the horn's wire harness and unscrew the 10mm bolt holding the horn's bracket to the car. At this point, I installed 2 wires onto the horn's wire leads and tested the horn by connecting it directly to the battery. Doing this resulted in no sound from the horn, confirming that the horn was faulty and no longer working. This is the first vehicle I've owned where the horn has gone out. I love my Hyundai vehicles, but this is another small, frustrating issue that seems to be a typical Hyundai issue. This issue is made more frustrating due to the fact that the vehicle has less than 20,000 miles on it. Now that I knew the horn was the issue, I began installing the new horns. The wire harness the horns come with make the installation process much easier. Loosen the 10mm nut on the battery's positive terminal. Install the fused red wire onto the battery's positive terminal. Since we have a forged intake installed, I used a plastic trim tool to push the wire loom down between the intake and battery. Then I dropped the other end of the wire behind the driver's side headlight. When I tried to close the positive terminal's cover, it wouldn't shut due to the horn's wire. To solve this issue, I used wire cutters to cut a small notch out of the bottom of the cover. This didn't solve the issue completely, so I cut the same notch out of the top cover. With both the top and bottom cover pieces notched, the cover was able to close properly. I finished the job by cleaning up both notches with a utility knife. The ends of the wire harness don't plug directly into the factory harness, so I use T-taps to tap into the harness. Before installing the T-taps, I used my wire strippers to cut away a small section of each wire's insulation. This helps to ensure a solid connection between the wire and the T-tap. After the wire's insulation has been stripped back and part of the wire has been exposed, insert the exposed section of the wire into the T-tap. You may need to use a small flathead screwdriver to push the wire into the T-tap. Make sure the wire is down completely into the tap before closing it. On the horn's wire harness, connect the loose red and yellow wires to the blue and white wires. Blue is positive and white is negative. Since yellow is the positive wire for the harness, I kept yellow as positive in this case. So the yellow wire was connected to the blue wire and the red was connected to the white negative wire. I then stripped the ends of the yellow and red wires. After the wires were stripped, I installed a male spade wire connector on each wire and crimped them. Finally, I plugged each spade connector into the T-tap. I plugged the blue wire into the gray wire and plug the white wire onto the black wire of the factory horn's harness. For the main black ground wire, I chose to use one of the 3 ground wire bolts located behind the crash bar. You'll need a 10mm socket to loosen one of the bolts. After the bolt has been loosened, you can insert the negative wire onto the bolt and retighten the bolt back down. Before we complete the wiring process, we need to mount the 2 horns. I found the best way to mount the horns, using the factory bracket, was to attach one horn and one bracket to the factory bracket. Position the straight bracket towards the back of the factory bracket. Attach a second bracket by using a short nut and bolt that you will need to supply. Screw the second horn onto the second bracket in a staggered arrangement as shown. Finally, screw the factory bracket back onto the car. With the horns installed, I plugged a black and yellow wire onto each horn. I plugged the yellow wire on the terminal located on the side of the horn with the 12-volt writing above it, and the black wire on the opposite terminal. Finally, to help stabilize the rear horn, I zip-tied the bracket to the factory wiring. After the horns were installed, I moved back up to the engine bay and zip-tied the main wire harness line to the factory wiring at the bottom of the battery. Before I zip-tied the remaining wires, I decided to test the fitment of the horns behind the bumper. I placed the bumper back onto the car and tried to push the sides back into place under each headlight. While testing this, I found the front horn was hitting the bumper, not allowing it to go back into place correctly. Knowing this, I took the bumper back off and repositioned the front horn. After some trial and error, I found the best way to position the front horn and to get the bumper to fit back on the car properly was to turn the front horn's mouth where it faced the crash bar. When I found that this would work, I finished zip tying the horn's wire leads, the main wire harness slack, and the relay all to the factory wiring. Once done, the new horn's installation process was complete. With the installation complete, let's test the horn and hear what it sounds like with the bumper off. The horn should work with a loud honk. Now that the horn has been tested, you can reinstall the bumper. Set the bumper back onto the car. Pop the sides back into place under each headlight. Reinstall the 4 10mm bolts located at the top of the bumper in the engine bay. Reinstall the bumper's 10mm screw and 3 plastic clips in each wheel well to secure the sides of the bumper to the car. Finally, reinstall the 6 10mm bolts and 11 plastic clips holding the splash guard to the underside of the car. This completes the full installation of the new dual horns on a Hyundai Veloster. After the installation has been completed, test the horn again. Here's a clip of the new horns with the bumper fully installed. I was really happy with the way the installation turned out. The horns are definitely much louder than the factory single horn. My wife was very happy to have her horn back and was just as impressed with how loud the new horns were. If you're looking to upgrade your horn's output or just need to fix a horn that's failed, this is a good upgrade over the factory horn. Furthermore, this is a very inexpensive fix as well. Please use the link in the video description to order your new horns today. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more content.